So today I want to talk about personal sigil. Personal sigil. So each one of us has what we call personal sigil. So I want to talk about how to understand that personal sigil and how to use it to better understand the chart. Haha. So I'm talking about personal sigil in relation to the word geomancy. So now, but before I continue or to explain this further, so I don't want to assume that every one of us we understand what I mean by personal CG. So let me quickly explain what I mean by personal CG. So personal CG simply means, or CG itself is like a symbol. So when you're not saying personal CG, you're talking about personal symbol. Do you understand? Before you were giving birth to, there are astrologers, there are diviners, there are seers, there are people who can see vision that are already seeing your symbol. Oh, this so person is coming to earth. Then your mission will be attached to whatever symbol it is seen. I don't know if you are getting it. So before you are giving birth to, some people have seen you that this so person is coming. Just like when you go to a doctor, that maybe you yourself you are feeling the symptom. Oh, it seems that I'm pregnant. It seems that I'm pregnant. You have already gotten a symbol that indicates that this is pregnancy. That is personal CG. That is like a symbol, a medical symbol or body symbol. Let me call it personal symbol in that sense. Now, when you now go to the medical line, when you go to the doctor, they will then do some examination and testing in order to know if this thing. So what they are looking for is the symbol that will be interpreted as pregnancy. So what the doctors or whoever is doing the test for you, what they are looking for is that symbol that automatically means the word pregnancy. Yes, sir. So when you're not talking about personal CG, so in that sense, I'm trying to break it down. I'm using an analogy so that you understand. So I'm using a medical or analogy for you to understand what a personal CG is. Then I've used spiritual or the divinational CG. Sorry, divination or explanation for you to understand. For instance, I said before you are birth, before you are giving birth to, there are some people who have greater vision, yes, or who are visionary. There are some people who are called astrologers. There are some people who are different names. People who have bigger eyes. Maybe if you prefer to be called that one, people who have sharp eyes, they will see us either from whatever method they are using. This so person. Those are some of the things that was seen before the birth of Jesus Christ. That so person will be called me. Those are some of the things that was seen before the birth of Prophet Muhammad. That those they are people, great people who can easily see. You understand that? So I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So personal CGs in spirituality is that thing that were all those scholars. Your personal CG is like, for instance, the personal CG of Prophet Muhammad was what those astrologer of then saw that Muhammad, somebody is born, and they begin to analyze this and that of the characteristic of that attribute of that CG. Likewise, the way the prophet Jesus Christ is not usually called prophet, but it's a prophet. It's unlike Prophet Muhammad. It's not like Prophet Jesus, no, but we know Jesus as who we know. So what I'm trying to say is that those things that was foreseen or seen, those sign and symbol that was seen before Jesus was born, those things are called personal sigil of what Jesus Christ. So each one of us too, as we are coming to the planet, this earth, before we are giving it to, there are people who have saw something, who have seen something. This also person is coming to earth. That thing that they saw is what you call your personal CG. So I want to believe you already understood what I mean by personal CG now. So personal CG, that is what it simply means. Your symbol, that which represents you when you are not physically there, that which is set forth to go and appear before you will come. That is personal CG, that which appears before you. You are going to you want to call a friend living in that state. You now dial the number. That number that will appear on the screen of the other person's phone before the person will now hear your voice. By the time you see somebody, know this is so possible, even though you have not heard the person. Do you understand? That one is like your number, your phone number, the way to which somebody can call you. That is your own your number. That is what the figures, the number that has been attached to you, your personal number. Like if I want to call you now, I need your number to know how to call you. Do you understand that? So that is your number. So likewise too, before we were bent, we were giving number. We were giving number, but we call it is just like we call this is your number. So this one too, we all have our own personal CG. I hope you have understood what that personal CG is now. So that is personal CG, your own number. Taking for instance now, all these things are CG. All these things you are seeing, they are CG, they are symbol that symbolize something. You understand? These are CG, these are symbols that symbolize something. So it like if you want to know how many people are present here, even though we are, if you want to know how many people are present, just like if you understand when, if you study Eastern geomancy, I mean Arabic geomancy, you realize that in the history of Eastern geomancy, when one of the scholar, I think, one of the founders of geomancy, I mean, where the geomancy was actually called, one of the prophets that started geomancy. So one of his descendants, one of the people he gave it to. So when he taught people on how to do geomancy, he gave them the test that they should cast the chart. I don't want to go too much in that, but I just want to point out something. They asked them that, well, how many people are here? You understand? So, but don't let me deviate. So he used a test, but that's not where we are going. I don't want to deviate. So each of these things represent different persons, different human beings, different things. You understand? So with their own. So now to back to the point, since I want to believe by now you should already understand what a personal CG is. If you don't understand what a personal CG is, just look at it this way. Just like you have phone number, that if anybody want to call you, this is the number they will call you. So this is just like personal CG is like your spiritual phone number through which if anybody want to call you can be reached out to. That is what a personal CG is. I want to believe that is another simplest, one of the simplest explanation one can easily use to explain that. I want to believe you understood that already. So let's now move on because I want to explain personal CG and how you can easily use it to make some understanding about what is going on in querent life or in your own as a geomancer's life. So and I want to do that briefly. Probably some other time I will explain that. So and how to know someone's personal CG is not something of geomancy. You understand? It's outside it. But now, let's assume that there are different ways you can know, but it's not something you do with geomancy. You collect your birth details and some other spiritual something will be done in order to spiritually. Just like you want to talk about CG, you are now using that, you want to use geomancy again to derive. So it is not geomancy you will use to derive personal CG because what you want to bring out is one of these CG. Like I said in one of the videos, something that wasn't created in your present, you can't talk about it. Do you understand? Let's say what all of us gets to the same university the same day. Then you want to be telling me about what happened yesterday. Are you the one that will tell me what happened the same? Maybe we went to the same school. Maybe we went to the same class. We are all new, fresh students. So now we got there. Let's say we got there today. You now want to be telling me what happened yesterday. Were you there? It's not possible. If you are able to tell me what happened yesterday, that means somebody that was there yesterday has given an information about that. You understand? So that's one of the reasons why it is not a case of you want to bring out these things. You understand, but so that is. But let's say those that have already know their own personal CG or that already know their personal CG through one way or the other. So let's talk about that. Even when you go to Ifa people, they also have when you meet an Ifa priest, he will tell you that maybe he will coin you off because the same language in this the Ifa language is the same thing as this Geomancy language. You understand? They use the same symbol. So each Ifa place has their own. So when you want to practice Geomancy, it's one of the key things you need to know. You need to know your personal CG. But it is not as if only a Geomancer that anybody ought to know their personal CG because it's a spiritual communication. It's a spiritual number attached to you. You understand? It's a spiritual number attached to. So it is not a case of maybe, but it's highly important for every human or anybody or practicing spirituality, not even human alone, practicing divinity or thereabout. You need to know. You understand? It's one of the criteria, even in all it is in humans that some people take it for granted and they don't know the value. So, but anyway, you have to know it before even. So it is as a human, but I don't want to make it the emphasis to look as if it's only a human. It is everyone that understands how things work supposed to know their personal CG for their personal development and growth because it is usually used for some prayer and it's also used for protection and so on and so forth. But let's move on to what I actually want to discuss here today. Now, let's say you already know your personal CG. Let me give you an example. In this case now, let's say, let's bring an example now. Let's say this is a personal CG of the querent. Let's say this figure, Cauda Draconis. Is it, sorry, Caput Draconis one, Caput Draconis. That is Utuba Dahila. Utuba Dahila. So now let's say this is personal CG of somebody. So now I want to show you how this is related, or how this can have an impact in the understandings of a chart, apart from the normal interpretation of whatever you have already known. So this is just to be like an additional information. Now, let's say this is a personal CG of a geomancy. Whenever a chart is casted and personal CG of the querent is seen, personal CG of querent is seen on a table, it means that querent spirits have been called by some people and is answering to them. That is one of the first meaning. Querent spirits are being called. In Yoruba people will call that one pe ori eyan. Like now this calling can then be negative or positive, and like, but I will explain how to know the process. Now, the first time being seen, when a personal CG of a person is seen for the first time, it means that someone care for the query, and the person is wishing the person well. Not even just wishing the person well, he's also praying for the person. That is what it means. Now, but it comes with a warning. Let me repeat again. Whenever a personal CG of a person is seen on a chart that has me, don't forget that. On a chart that has me, it means that some people are calling the spirit or the head of the querent, and the querent is answering it, that head. That's where it's answering them. Now, it comes out in that chart to notify querent, because it is not good that somebody is calling your head and you are answering to it. It is not always good, because sometimes, though it's both way, some people are calling for good, maybe they are praying for you, blah, 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 like that, while some people are calling for evil intention. You understand, but whenever it comes out, it is talking about somebody is calling. You understand, but now, the reason why it now appear in that chart is to notify the querent or the geomancer or whoever is interpreting the chart that the querent should be more careful with his head, like do some protection about his head, because of people calling. You understand, but so should fortify his head. Should do more fortification. We have done it. Should do more fortification to protect his or her spirit, or his or her destiny, or his or her head, so that something else doesn't enter, because his head is being called and is answering to them. You understand? But so, which means that whenever you find it again, that I've said another thing I want to say, that whenever you find it, it's both good things and both bad things. It is always good you find it. Look at it. It's not compulsory, but it is always good you find it, because finding it there means that the prayer you are praying, even your own prayer, not even some people alone, it has high tendency of getting answered. So it is always good. It's just like somebody. It is always good. It means that the presence of this phone, it means that let me use an analogy so that you understand. The presence of your personal CG, it means that your phone, I want to use them, your phone is active, not yet off. Anybody can call you. You understand? But when it is not, it is absent, it means that either your phone is off or your phone is not reachable. Do you understand? It means that your phone is on. So absent of your personal CG means that some people are calling your head and you are not answering. No, people are calling me, so you are not answering. Present of it, some people are calling it, but you are answering. See, that present is good because it also helps you. If it's not see there, if you want to if you want to do any spiritual something, it is not highly recommend. It's not highly compulsory you do it. Let's say in fact, it can also be used to know if you should do a particular spiritual something or not. Maybe you want to do a spiritual charms or something or magic or something, and that thing is not there. It means that well, except so it means that well, there is something you need to do again in order to. There is a way you know other way, but seeing it there, it's also valid that it is not seeing it there, and you want to do any spiritual something. It's a challenge that there's I think that thing you want to do is not what because that is the number that is the power or energy that will transfer it and it's not answering. That's why sometimes some people say they do this, they do that, it's not, but when they are this thing is not working. You understand? But it's not active. So it's but whenever again, don't forget I'm saying two things at the same time. Whenever it is seen, it is good. You understand? It helps you, it's for your own advantage. You understand? But at the same time, you need to do some protection, more protection. Or you need to have some protection, something at home. So that whenever you see, you always use it. That is why it is good for it. That's why I said initially, well, as a Geomancy, it's something you should always do. Sorry, something you should also always know because it serves as an additional like a third eyes to know what is going on within you or something that is just happening that it's not everything you just be casting about. Do you want to be casting it everything that is anybody somebody doing me something? Is somebody calling my name for bad? Would that be a question you want to be asking every day? But that one automatically is like we call it a rumor or doing we call it Yuba, you're doing solo amebo. It's giving you a tips. You should know, even though you are not asked, that is not the question you ask. It's already telling you that something. So that is why one of the things. However, there are three when there are each one of us have three personal sigils that comes up. It is not all of this. It's not as if whenever you see all of anyone, there's this particular out of the three you have. There's this one that is much more important among them. Let me use an example. In Ifa, for example, when you go there, they will give you one person. Only one they give you, the only one they give you is the one that is most important. But in under geomancy, in some other method, they will give you three. Out of that three, one of the CG is more important. All of them are important. They will do the whatever you know about it, whatever suite it is. You have explained what they have explained to you about how to use it. Sorry, don't let me deviate. One of them is what we are talking about, not all of them. Not that maybe you have three, and that's all of them. No, it's just one of them. So you have to inquire about if you know your personal CG and you are giving three, ask them which one is the primary one. Let me give you an example. Perhaps you have three major or three personal CG. One of them usually talk. Don't let me deviate. This thing is getting to know, but one of them is the most important personal CG that usually talked about these things. Not all of them that whenever you find all of the three, and then on the one, personal CG is usually 30, but some people just know one. Do you understand? It is usually common among the players, only just one, and their own, that one they know is the, but to some people, it's usually 30. All of the theories are important, but one of them is the one that is needed for this thing that I'm talking about. So I want to believe you understand. So that is one of the function of that personal CG. So because of this note is getting too long, maybe if there's another time I later make another video and explain it further. So thank you very much for listening. May God bless you. But let me remind you again, when you subscribe to this YouTube channel, it makes easy for you to get notification whenever another video is posted, and whenever you share the video posted here, it give me a kind of concern, a kind of motivation that these people actually want me to do much, just like it's like an encouragement. So when you share the video that I post on the YouTube, it gives me that kind of encouragement to even talk more or something. But when you do only subscribe alone, you're only saying that whenever a new video is posted, you will quickly want to be one of the people that will know first. So whichever way, I wish you do the two: subscribe, then share for the benefit of the other. Thank you very much. May God bless you.